In Africa, survival is never guaranteed. Every river hides an ambush. Every shadow may conceal a hunter. Every sunrise begins another battle between power, instinct, and fear. From silent crocodiles beneath the water to lions that rule the grasslands with thunderous roars, this is a world where every creature fights to live, and only the strongest, smartest, or fastest endure. This is not just wildlife. This is the raw, unforgiving theater of life and death on the African savanna. There is one sound that can make the entire African night fall silent. It is the roar of the lion, a declaration of territory that travels for miles, the sound of power, blood, and the harsh order of the savanna. The lion is not the fastest big cat. It is not the best climber. But it has something few predators of its size possess, the strength of the pride. A coordinated group of lionesses can bring down wildebeest, zebras, warthogs, and even buffalo under the right conditions. Meanwhile, the males, with their heavy manes and massive bodies, defend territory, intimidate rivals, and intervene when raw strength is needed most. Twilight is when lions awaken. After spending the heat of the day stretched beneath the shade, their golden eyes begin to open, their heads lift, and their ears turn toward distant sounds. The wind carries the scent of wildebeest. A hunt is about to begin. No clear signal is given, yet each lioness slips into position. One circles left, another closes from behind. A third waits near the likely escape path. This is the art of lion hunting, coordination. Lions are not perfect machines. They fail often. But when they succeed, it is a near total lock on the prey. Then, in just a few seconds, the grassland erupts. Hooves pound, dust rises, and out of the chaos, the king reveals its power. The targeted zebra reacts too late. It turns, but one lioness cuts it off. It surges forward, another strikes from the side. One final leap, claws dig in, jaws close over the throat. On the savanna, the crown is never handed over by title. It is won through ambushes, blood, and every brutal meal. Lions are also extraordinary because of their social life. They live in prides, something rare among big cats. Pride life allows them to defend large territories, raise cubs together, cooperate in hunting, and compete against hyenas. But this social structure is full of tension. Coalitions of males fight to take over a pride. When successful, they may kill the cubs of their predecessors so that the lionesses return to breeding condition more quickly. It is a ruthless but very real law of survival. Lions do not always win. Buffalo can fight back with terrifying force. Hippos can drive them away. Adult elephants are nearly impossible to challenge. And hyenas, though usually less powerful individually, can harass them constantly, steal food, or rob them of valuable rest. To be king does not mean to be unbeatable. It means having to prove the power again and again. For humans, lions carry a nearly mythical appeal. The mane, the roar, the walk, and the stare all radiate primal authority. But if we look deeper, what truly makes lions remarkable is not just their majesty. It is their coordination, persistence, and ability to hold status in a world that constantly tests them. As night deepens, the pride gathers around the carcass. Cubs push in. Lionesses remain alert, and the male sits beyond them like a great dark shadow. In that moment, we understand why the lion became a symbol of power. Not only because it is strong, but because every other creature must account for its presence with every step they take. There may be animals that are faster, quieter, or more relentless. But when the roar rises through the darkness, everyone knows the same truth. The king is still on patrol. If the lion rules with a roar, The leopard rules through invisibility. You rarely hear it coming. You rarely see it arrive. But once it has chosen a target, the hunt has begun long before the prey realizes it is being watched. In the fading afternoon light, a female leopard lies across a thick tree branch, her yellow eyes motionless as they scan the plain below. She does not need a pride. She does not need the power of numbers. The leopard is a master solitary hunter, combining secrecy, patience, and sudden lethal force. Unlike the cheetah, which depends on open speed, the leopard often approaches prey by slipping through shadow, brush, and broken terrain. It stays low and silent, almost blending into the land itself. Thompson's gazelles, warthog piglets, monkeys, birds, and even animals living in the trees may all become targets. The leopard's world is not limited to the ground. It hunts there, climbs better than almost any large predator, and stores its kills in the branches to keep them safe from lions and hyenas. A Thompson's gazelle drifts slightly away from the herd. It lowers its head to feed, then raises it now and then to check the surroundings. But the leopard is already too close. Every footstep is softer than the wind. Muscles tighten beneath its spotted coat, a perfect camouflage among light and leaves. Then, all at once, like an arrow released from a bow, the ghost explodes from the shadows. No alarm. No second chance. The short distance vanishes in an instant. The leopard does not need a long chase. It only needs to get close enough for the final lunge. Claws grip the prey's body. Jaws lock onto the throat or neck. A few seconds of panic, one last violent struggle, and then the grass falls silent again as if no ambush ever happened. But the leopard's challenge does not end with the kill. In Africa, killing prey is only half the battle. Keeping it is the other half. Hyenas can smell blood from far away. Lions can take a carcass by force. So, the leopard drags its kill up into the tree, a remarkable display of strength that few predators can match. The branch becomes a pantry, a fortress, and a private dining table. From above, the leopard can rest, observe, and feed in relative safety. That three-dimensional mastery of the environment is what makes it one of Africa's most perfect predators. The leopard is also defined by its secrecy. It avoids unnecessary conflict, seeks no attention, and lives like a shadow in a crowded ecosystem. An adult leopard must remember its territory. Safe pathways, suitable trees, the presence of rivals, and the perfect moments to hunt. That is the practical intelligence of an animal that survives alone. There is a cold beauty in the leopard, not the glory of the lion, not the chaos of the hyena. Not the aggression of the hippo. It is the beauty of precision. Every movement serves a purpose. Every attack is efficient, swift, and without waste. When darkness covers the savanna and insects begin to sing from every side, somewhere up on a high branch, a leopard may be lying motionless, tail hanging loose, eyes glowing in the dark. It does not need the world to know it is there, because true power in a ghost has never been loud presence. It is the ability to appear at exactly the moment no one expects. You can see a lion. You can hear a hyena. But there is one predator that almost never leaves a warning, until the very moment its victim disappears beneath the surface. In Africa's rivers, where the water seems calm and harmless, the Nile crocodile is a silent nightmare, a perfect ambush machine that has survived almost unchanged for millions of years. Dawn spreads golden light across the river. Herds of wildebeests, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles gather at the bank. They are thirsty. But in Africa, thirst is never just a simple need. Every mouthful of water is a gamble. Beneath the muddy surface, a pair of unblinking eyes is watching. No footsteps, no roar, only cold, terrifying patience. A crocodile does not need to chase like a leopard. It does not need the teamwork of lions. Its greatest weapon is invisibility. Its heavy body lies low against the riverbed, exposing only its eyes and nostrils. In a world where every mistake costs a life, the crocodile is the very image of death, born from carelessness. One wildebeest steps into the water first. It pauses. It listens. The smell of mud, the smell of water, and the ancient scent of panic still seem to hang in the air. But the herd behind pushes forward. Thirst begins to win, and it takes another step. That is the moment the river strikes. The surface explodes. In one blinding instant, the crocodile's jaws clamp onto the prey's leg. There is no warning. No second chance. In less than a second, the balance of life is shattered. The wildebeest thrashes wildly. Water erupts everywhere, and the herd scatters in panic. But for the crocodile, the battle was nearly over the moment its jaws closed. Its bite can crush bone, and even more terrifying is the death roll, a violent spin that disorients the victim, tears flesh, breaks joints, and drags it under. But the most frightening thing is not the attack itself. It is how quickly the river becomes silent again, as if nothing ever happened. That is the power of the ruler beneath the water. No trace, no triumphant roar, only fading ripples and an empty space left in the herd. In Africa, the greatest fear is not when you see the predator. It is when you see nothing at all. Crocodiles are terrifying because they do not just target the weak. They are strong enough to attack adult zebras, warthogs, wildebeest, and even larger animals when the opportunity is right. They are not reckless. They are calculated. Every movement saves energy. A crocodile can lie motionless for hours, even days, waiting for one perfect moment. During the Great Migration, when thousands of wildebeest cross the river, crocodiles become ancient ghosts rising from the depths. The water turns into chaos. The cries, the pounding hooves, the collision of bodies create one of the most brutal survival scenes on Earth. Yet in that chaos, the crocodile never changes its nature. Cold, precise, almost emotionless. It does not hunt to prove strength. It hunts because it was born to do so. And yet, despite all its horror, the crocodile is an essential part of the ecosystem. It keeps prey populations in balance, clears away rotting carcasses, and reminds every animal that no place near the river is ever truly safe. Beneath every peaceful surface lies a hidden force ready to strike. That is why the crocodile commands respect across the savanna. It does not need to be the fastest. It does not need to be the biggest. With one perfectly timed strike, it can turn a place of drinking into a place of execution. In the wild, some rulers dominate with roars, with horns, or with speed. The crocodile rules with silence. And sometimes, silence is the most terrifying power of all. Few animals are judged more unfairly than the hyena. People call it cowardly, filthy, a thief that lives off the work of others. But on the African savanna, hyenas are no joke of nature. They are relentless, intelligent, and frighteningly effective hunters. As night falls, the eerie laughter of hyenas echoes through the dark. To many animals, it is an immediate warning. A clan of spotted hyenas moves across the grassland, shoulders high, backs sloping, jaws built like iron traps. They are not beautiful in the traditional sense, but every part of their body is designed for survival. Immense endurance, crushing bite force, a complex social order, and sharp coordination in a group. Hyenas do not only eat carrion. In reality, they are often highly successful hunters, especially when they hunt together. They can chase wildebeest, zebra foals, Thompson's gazelles, and even pressure-weakened buffalo. Not with sudden speed, but with brutal endurance. They force prey to run, to tire, to make mistakes. A zebra strays from the herd at night. The hyenas notice immediately. They do not attack in chaos. They spread out. One closes from the right, another circles from behind, others cut off the retreat. This is no blind frenzy. This is strategy. And then comes the decisive moment. The prey does not collapse from one perfect strike. It collapses from exhaustion, despair, and a pursuit that never stops. That is the hyena's style. It does not always kill as cleanly as a leopard. It does not always appear as regal as a lion, but it is devastatingly efficient. And in nature, efficiency decides who lives and who dies. What also makes hyenas remarkable is their matriarchal society. Females are usually larger, more aggressive, and more dominant than males. A hyena clan functions like an organized structure with clear hierarchy, complicated relationships, and powerful cooperation. They defend territory, hunt together, and raise cubs in a world of constant competition with lions. The rivalry between hyenas and lions is one of the most intense conflicts on the savanna. The two species steal from each other, kill each other's young, and constantly challenge one another around every carcass. A large clan of hyenas can force lionesses to retreat. But the arrival of a male lion can change everything instantly. It is a game of power that never truly ends. Hyenas also play a crucial ecological role. Their crushing jaws allow them to consume almost every part of a carcass, including the bones many other scavengers leave behind. Once again, nature shows that what humans often call disgusting is sometimes the highest form of efficiency. When we hear the hyena's strange laughter, it may sound disturbing, but it is not madness. It is communication, warning, coordination, and identity. The bizarre soundscape reflects a society far more complex than its reputation suggests. The hyena is proof that nature does not care about image. It only preserves what works. And with endurance, intelligence, and jaws strong enough to crack bone, the hyena has become one of the most unshakable forces in Africa. It may never receive the admiration given to lions, but when darkness deepens and laughter rolls across the plain, the entire savanna understands that the misunderstood army of the night has begun its shift. Some creatures do not survive because they are strong. They do not survive because they are large. They survive because they can react faster than death in the space of a heartbeat. Thompson's gazelle is one of the greatest examples of that truth. Small, slender, and almost always within reach of predators, Thompson's gazelles live in a world where every time they lower their heads to graze could be the last. Cheetahs see them as ideal prey. Leopards, hyenas, lions, and even birds of prey can take their young. Danger surrounds them from every direction. But nature did not create Thompson's gazelles to be easy victims. They possess remarkable speed, the ability to change direction sharply, and their famous starting leaps, high-springing jumps that seem to say to predators, "I am healthy. I am fast. Do not waste your energy on me." It is both biology and psychology. One morning, a herd of gazelles is spread across a patch of short grass. They graze quickly, lifting their heads again and again, ears rotating constantly. For them, concentration is not a habit. It is the condition for survival. In distant grass, a spotted shadow closes in. A cheetah. Then, everything explodes. No warning. Just a living arrow bursting from cover, locked onto the nearest small body. The gazelle bolts instantly. Hard turns, zigzags, and explosive acceleration create a breathtaking escape attempt. The cheetah has the advantage in top speed, but only over a short distance. Thompson's gazelle places its hope in agility. This is a contest between acceleration and reflex, between raw speed and survival instinct. Though many are caught, the fact that the species remains so successful is proof of extraordinary evolution. They breed quickly, their young stand early, and herd life increases predator detection. Each individual may be small, but together they provide a vital source of life to the ecosystem. Thompson's gazelles also embody fragile beauty in the wild. Their pale coats, bold side stripe, wide eyes, and delicate running form make them one of the most recognizable animals on the savanna. But that beauty does not equal weakness. On the contrary, it is the beauty of resilience. They remind us that life does not belong only to giants or apex predators. Some warriors survive by escaping death again and again, by choosing the right turn, by reacting one fraction of a second faster than claws and teeth. When we see a herd of Thompson's gazelles scattered across the plains, it may look peaceful, but in truth, it is a field of hearts always ready for the next sprint of survival. Every calm moment is only the pause between two alarms. And perhaps that is what makes this small antelope so extraordinary. In a world ruled by the strong, it still survives, still multiplies, still springs through the grass like an arrow of hope. Not because death has forgotten it, but because it has learned how to run straight through death again and again. From a distance, zebras seem like symbols of wild beauty, black and white stripes, upright manes, powerful movement. But on the savanna, those stripes are not decoration. They are the mark of an animal built to survive in chaos. Zebras live in herds, relying on collective awareness and endurance to deal with lions, hyenas, crocodiles, and many other threats. They are not as explosively quick as a gazelle, not as massive as a buffalo, but they possess strong bodies, devastating kicks, and a fierce will to resist that goes far beyond their elegant appearance. In the morning, zebras graze side by side with wildebeest. This partnership is not accidental. Zebras eat the taller, rougher grasses first, while wildebeest feed on the shorter, fresher growth that remains. This relationship benefits both species. On the savanna, survival is not only competition. Sometimes it is strategic coexistence. But beauty does not mean peace. Zebras are common targets for lions because of their size and the amount of meat they provide. The real challenge is killing one without taking a dangerous blow in return. A panicked adult zebra can launch a kick powerful enough to break a predator's jaw. And that is exactly what happens when lions strike from the darkness. One zebra is cut off from the herd, but instead of collapsing immediately, it twists, bites, kicks, and turns its final seconds into a violent act of resistance. Zebras have no horns, no giant fangs, but they have speed, muscle, and herd instincts. When danger comes, the herd can twist into a moving mass of confusion that makes it hard for predators to fix on a single target. The stripes in motion may even create a visual distortion that helps confuse attackers, a small but valuable advantage. Zebras also form relatively stable family groups, with a stallion protecting mares and foals. This social structure increases vigilance and helps prevent individuals from being isolated. During major migrations, zebras face not only predators but also rivers, thirst, and the exhausting burden of long-distance movement. Their stripes remain one of nature's most fascinating mysteries. They may help with individual recognition, temperature regulation to some degree, resistance to biting insects, and the disruption of body outline in the eyes of predators. It is a design that is both beautiful and functional. Zebras represent a deeply African truth. Beauty and danger are never far apart. What looks graceful through a camera lens is not necessarily fragile in the field. Every scar on a zebra's body tells the story of survival. Every lowered head carries risk. When the red light of sunset falls across the savanna, a zebra herd appears like brushstrokes moving across a giant living painting. But that painting is never still. It pulses with alertness, with memory of hunts, and with hearts that can never fully relax. Zebras are beautiful, yes, but their beauty is not delicate. It is the beauty of an animal forged in threat, shaped by pursuit, and still able to run straight through every storm of chaos. So, among all these brutal survivors of the African wild, which animal impressed you the most? Was it the lion? The crocodile? The buffalo? Or perhaps the silent shadow of the leopard? Tell us your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoy powerful wildlife stories like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next journey into the wild. Because in the natural world, there are still countless mysteries, fierce battles, and breathtaking stories waiting to be discovered.